Hey, this is Taylor with Believe in the Run.
And this is Reese with Believe in the Run.
And we are here with another fantastic shoe review for you.
Pretty good.
But this is of a shoe, well, this is the On Cloudultra Pro.
Yep.
And all of us consider this kind of On's first.
Yeah.
I mean, they've had trail shoes. They've had a few models.
But have they?
But have they?
They have, but this one takes the cake for me.
Absolutely. I think.
This is their, let's call it their debut, whether they want it to be or not.
Yep. On's debut, Cloudultra Pro trail shoe. And if we're calling this a debut, I'm going to say, snaps.
Snaps. They did a
claps, whatever.
Phenomenal job. I feel like when I think back to some of the shoes I've run in from them, trail shoes, I was like, all right, nice, something's missing.
Mm-hmm.
And they hadn't really released much in the way, like the last review I did on one was in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know, they weren't sitting around doing nothing during that time.
Yeah.
They did some like real research to come up with this one, and this is pretty dang good.
Yeah, and this is one of those shoes that's kind of like, obviously born in the modern era, but it's one of those shoes that we've seen on athletes' feet for a long time. Yeah. We're just kind of wondering what it's all about. And is the wait worth it? Is kind of our take on it of like, has it been worth it? Has it time elapsed on that era of or type of shoe? And I'm just really excited to say like this is an impressive shoe, an impressive debut. So let's just get into it we'll just go from the top down like we usually do. What do you got?
For me, it's the Leno Weave Upper. And this is a new material for me. I haven't seen this. We've been seeing a lot of like that matrix kind of plastic weave.
And it totally falls into that category because it is a PU coated wrapped yarn in a sense. And so it's like it's like a wicker basket.
Oh my God.
Right?
It's like a cornucopia.
Yeah.
It's on the Thanksgiving table.
Yeah. Could be.
But I think like on first appearance, I was like, oh, this is not going to be great in terms of like durability. The ventilation is phenomenal. I think if you get your feet wet, it's going to dry out fairly quickly.
Well, I actually have a note on that.
Yeah.
Of like, and I always wear wool socks, so that could be
interesting
part of it, or a wool blend. When I got this wet, and I got it very wet, like many stream crossings, even like going into a lake with it, like that kind of stuff, I thought that this would drain so easily. Yeah. It dried fairly well, but not as quickly as I would expect.
You're still sloshing.
Exactly, because
they have down here.
Yeah, they have an interlay, like an overlay on the inside, that kind of keeps some of that water in toward the bottom. So I was surprised. I'm not saying it did terribly at drying out, but it didn't release all the water for a little while because it just kind of stayed down there. So, but
I mean, and I think it's like resilience is going to be better than I think it is because it
looks like you could just kind of
it looks like if a stick hit it, it would go through. But this thing's very good. And I have to remember, like, this isn't an everyday shoe for the most part. This is a race shoe. So when we talk about durability,
ultra shoe.
Yeah.
And so that's even taken on slightly.
So I think just like talking about durability, you have to remember, like, this is not the shoe I'm taking out every single day of the week, probably.
Yeah. But even so, like, I have no reason to believe that this wouldn't hold up in the miles that I've done. I took it out of the box and did a 20-miler. Yeah. And really got a good, again, there's no reason to believe that this wouldn't hold up. Yeah. Appearance-wise, maybe, but performance-wise, no. Yeah.
I would say the other thing to note, and I know we're still kind of on the top, but I noticed because in the previous On models, I wore a size 8. I'm normally a 7.5, and when I got mine, which was an 8, it fit big, so I think they've corrected that, and it now probably fits true to size. Yep. So I noticed, like, this toe protect was nice, but I think had it fit me, it would have been a little better. It is
and you and I have
narrow.
had this this issue with sizing before of like
my feet are weird.
All of our feet are weird.
Let's just be real. Like, let's have a therapy
but you
session. I'm like, I will admit,
my feet. Talk about this.
I want to talk about it.
But we both like a more snug fit.
Yes,
in general.
I do like.
Not tight, but snug.
I like it really snug through the midfoot and like a real narrow heel.
And my foot filled this shoe well. I have a little bit wider of a forefoot, maybe, average throughout the rest, but slightly wider forefoot. And this rounded shape really worked with my foot. Yeah. And I'm one of those who can go 10.5 or 11 in most shoes.
Got it.
So, but I was glad I had a 10.5 in this.
Yeah.
To me, it fit true to size. Where you're saying you might want to go down.
I think it does fit true to size. I just ordered what I received last time, which was a half size bigger than I normally wear.
Gotcha.
So I think they fixed their sizing.
And you and so you had that issue. Okay.
Yeah. So I think like I could easily get a 7.5, which is my normal size, and it would be great.
Yeah. Yeah. Even for ultra distance, I probably wouldn't size up for this unless I'm going like more than the work days long. Like if maybe 100K or more.
Yeah.
So.
Also, I will note the laces. Every single brand just needs to adopt the braided
on
lace.
Every single shoe.
Every single shoe.
Not just race day shoes.
I love the braided lace. It just doesn't come untied.
It doesn't loosen up while you're running.
It's such a simple choice. I do think it's really interesting that the shoe that is my favorite, which is all the North Face shoes, have the same colorway as this. Very similar. It's like this. Anyway, that's just a side note.
Maybe you just like that light aesthetic.
Yeah,
makes
I do.
It feel
Something clean. Should we do the midsole?
Yeah, because I mean that's my favorite part of this whole thing.
Yeah, the midsole, she shines. It shines,
baby. Shines.
Okay, you go.
Okay, so this is there's many different ways to do a midsole. We've seen rim and core dual densities. We've seen just dual density. We've seen layers of foams. This one's in the layering option, and so they call both layers this Helion HF, which would be in like their race day super shoe for the roads. It was I believe in the Cloud Monster. So these shoes that were really popular on the road, this is the same line of foam, same materials. That doesn't mean it's going to feel the exact same.
Yeah.
So they have dual density, a much softer, like energetic, really nice step-in feel on that top layer. You can kind of see it with the more yellowish here. And then they have this speed board, which we'll get to, and then a much denser version of that Helion HF. And so it's in this particular case, I thought this really worked out. Yeah. There's a lot of shoes that layering, it doesn't necessarily do a lot, but this one, I could feel the difference in layers and feel their different purposes. So I had some really nice step-in feel again, comfortable for the long run. With that top layer, and that bottom layer did really well. A much better job than I thought it would have at being more stable, keeping you more grounded in control of this ride. And so it didn't have like the energy that some people would expect this foam to have, and that's okay for the trails. Like I actually appreciate that about this shoe. It's a little tamer. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I loved it.
I think it was great, and I think you have the dual density foam, it's like, think of an X plate that's in the middle, and then like the classic On kind of like gaps here. I think
so. That's what they call the Cloud Tech.
Yes,
and that's that's On.
Yeah, and I think that they did a really good job with these because in previous models, much bigger, and I think that lends to the comfort.
I genuinely felt the Cloud Tech. Yeah. Especially if you could land midfoot or go at a little higher pace. Yeah. I could actually feel most of those compress in the midfoot before you roll in through where that speed board really takes over. But yeah, I thought it added a little extra oomph to each step, a little extra cushiony feel. Yeah.
Because I think for something that has this much cushion,
because it is a 38.5 to 32.5, so a 6 millimeter drop. Yeah. Which is in that high stack category.
And I think like for a lot of those, I would expect to feel like a little more unstable, but they did a really good job. The only thing I will say is that I'm someone that really, I tend to land, I pronate, but I land more on the outside of my foot. Okay. And I
kind of roll in.
Yeah, and I wish that this had been just like a little wider here.
Okay, so broader forefoot.
Yeah, I wish I did feel...
Because it's a very neutral ride. Yeah. And a lot of these ultra distant shoes try to make it more stable than not, which I'm not saying this isn't stable either. For me personally, I felt like it was a very neutral shoe.
I will say, for me, I had literally exploded my ankle right after I got this shoe, and so I was like, I'm a little hyper focused on stability and not rolling my ankle. And so when I was going down any trail, I was like, okay, this is the speed that I'm getting from this might be negated a little bit because I am being a little more cautious. Whether I think it was part shoe, part my ankle was the size of a baseball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I mean, that had some...
It has an effect.
There's a little PTSD with the ankle.
Yeah.
God.
But, I mean, when you kind of mentioned speed here, and I think this is a responsive shoe in the sense that you can go slow and far. You can pick up the pace.
Yeah.
It's not an, like, overly energetic shoe.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I like most about it, actually. It's just super efficient. The ride is so nice. No matter, like, I even tried landing heel and rolling forward because I usually land more midfoot or forefoot, depending on the terrain. But it just felt good no matter how I was able to strike.
I feel like it's a good race shoe for just about any race. Like, there's no, like, specific, like, yes, it will thrive at certain courses, but could you take this kind of anywhere? Like, yeah, definitely. It's not hyper specific.
Whereas, like, shoes like the Hoka Tecton X3, like, because of parts of its recipe, I would only save that for very smooth terrain.
Yeah.
Most, like, this could actually go on a decent variety of trails, like you were saying.
Yeah.
And even conditions. Like, if we flip it over to the bottom, Mission
I'm
grip.
loving this grip because normally what we'll see in a lot of, like, outsoles, it's someone goes and does, like, Vibram.
I'm sticking with Vibram.
The light base.
Yeah.
So super light, but On kind of has their own proprietary thing going on with the Mission grip, which I like. They have a pretty big cutout to save some weight.
And that's virtually the same shape as the plate. I know part of it is aesthetic, part of it's practical of saving weight.
But I didn't notice.
What's yours? Okay, you're looking pretty good. Mine too. Like, I went on some pretty nasty, rocky areas, and it's holding up. So those of you who are always like, we have to have the full outsole.
I like
just give me full rubber. That's the voice.
That's the voice of.
That's the voice of everybody who wants full rubber. And I appreciate full rubber just about as much as anybody else.
On race
Maybe
day.
not.
Not on, like, some races.
It's not always necessary.
Yeah.
And so I actually appreciate that.
Yeah. I think it was great. Like, I did not miss it. I didn't notice it.
Yeah.
I wasn't slipping. I wasn't sliding.
Yeah.
I'm not on slip and slide. I felt, and this was on, like, kitty litter trails, like, loose over hard stuff.
Sometimes the worst, actually.
It's the worst. Like, when you're going uphill on something that is, like, loose over hard, and you're just kind of sliding around, like, that's, you can't, like, prevent that. But I think when you're on, like, rocks. When you're on rocks. No, I didn't really notice wet, dry conditions, this being too much of an issue. And again, it's a race day show.
Exactly. And so that's something we need to keep in mind. It's
compromise somewhere.
Exactly. And the lugs are, like, we think they're 3.5.
We can't find the specs on that. But they were, like, almost identical in shape and size to the North Face.
Yep.
Same
Chevron style, multi-directional. And I felt like it worked for a lot of different surfaces. Worked on that kitty litter, worked on some rocky, worked on even some, like, muddy sections that I went through. I was surprised. I mean, you're kind of limited by how deep they are, but overall the pattern was really good. I did get some slipping, and it's kind of like an of course situation of, like, exiting a riverbed, have a bunch of rocks there, some slipping there, and I think that's where most of my degradation of these lugs on the forefoot were. So durability might be a little less. Again, it's a race shoe. They want it to be light more than anything. But overall, for a race day shoe, the grip was solid.
Yeah. Also, it seems like you're running a lot in riverbeds. What's going on?
I mean, the Rockies, melting out. A lot of snow up there.
I guess I'm like,
lots of river crossings.
Yeah, there was a shoe recently that said, like, fording rivers. That's what it was meant for. And I was like, I don't want to be anywhere.
Just turn into a little boat?
Yeah, I was like, I do not want to be anywhere. It's like Oregon Trail. I know what happens. I die. Dysentery, cock the wagon, she's dead.
Yep.
So, but maybe we
can
have
this one. Not this one.
We could take this on the Oregon Trail.
Yeah. And I do want to come back to the speed board real quick. I don't think it's an irrelevant part of this shoe.
This is what you can see it.
Yeah,
that little yellow.
And so it's essentially a nylon material, not a carbon plate, which I think is actually another great move.
Yeah.
It's gonna flex to a certain extent and then give you some energy.
Yeah.
But the best part is that I think it just keeps the shape of the shoe within these softer foams. It just keeps that really efficient, not too aggressive shape. It doesn't flatten out too much. I really like that. Just keeps the shape for some super efficient toe off. And you do feel a little bit of energy. You do, since it is that X shape, kind of like right through here, there's 2 forks in the forefoot, 2 forks in the rear, and they connect in the midfoot. So it does give you some of that dynamic stability that we've really liked some plates. But it's still like, it's not too firm as a carbon plate is usually in a certain direction. But I appreciated that they didn't go carbon in this case, actually.
I mean, I love the plate. I am definitely someone that once you start getting into race day things, a plate's super helpful. Especially when it's like a little more minimal foam, but this one obviously has plenty.
Yeah. It's a high stack shoe. I wouldn't say it's max stack, but it's high stack for sure.
Yeah. I'm loving the shoe.
Yeah. Well, let's get into our form, fit, and function.
Get out of here.
Hey, Thomas. Form, fit, and function.
I feel like there's something
we
else
got
I
to keep
want to
that
say.
in. Oh, okay. Let's do it.
I feel like I forget what it was that I want to say now. What was it? This happens a lot.
Well, when Thomas walks through the camera.
I know. I was like, what's going on, man? We're out here. We're obviously doing something. You know, Thomas, he just needs to be in the spotlight, you know?
Yeah. I have something else, too, I want to share.
Okay.
Going back to the upper. We're all over the place, but that's what you get when
but
you're with us.
I feel like, in general, I'm just all over the place, so it's really hard for me to keep a shoe review in, like, one solid piece, because my brain doesn't work like that.
I mean, think part of it, too, is, like, the sum of its parts is what makes it.
We also got up at like 2 a.m. this morning.
Yeah.
So there's
helps.
that.
But I wouldn't say, like, as far as the upper goes, it's a really light material. But I do appreciate the structure in the heel. That there is some structure, because I felt like when I was able to lace up, I always go through those.
Yeah. Why is this one not?
Oh, weird.
You didn't do it. I also had to do the back one, and I normally never do it.
Yeah.
But I wear a little insert, and it raises my heel just a tiny bit, and
kind of like the Puma shoe.
Yeah, and the longer, because it wasn't exactly my size, I did find my heel came up just a slight bit, but this corrected it pretty quickly.
And so I liked the structure in the heel. There's been a lot of race day options that are kind of making everything as light as possible, and that causes there to be less foot security. I felt really secure, quite secure. I'm not going to go up and do a sky race with something like this.
Probably unlikely.
Yeah. And so I like the padding. I like the moderate structure. And this ankle collar was weird at first to me.
Was it?
Yeah. It's
How so?
It's higher than most. It doesn't go below those little, the malleoli.
Oh, wow.
Those little nobulars on your ankle.
Which literally mine is not nobular. Like, it's the size of a baseball. So there's no knob. It's just one mass.
So I felt like that played a little bit into the overall stability and security of the shoe in terms of mid and rear foot and security. But it was weird at first to get along with. But I forgot about it pretty quickly as I started running. So
as most things do, as most disputes resolve,
you just start running.
Just get your.
So let's get to form, fit, and function.
Yeah.
So, form.
Form.
Looking at all the pieces, how they built this thing out. Form. I'm actually gonna go 5.
Wow.
I know.
That's an elusive number.
That's an elusive number.
Has any other shoe gotten a 5?
There's been just like a couple.
Okay.
In very few categories.
Okay.
But I'm gonna go 5 because I feel like they took obviously really good materials. They solved for an issue of ultra distance running, and they made a shoe that was slightly different than the masses, while staying true to who they are as a brand. Like, there's still Cloud Tech, there's still this speed board, and they're really starting to push the boundaries, and that's just kind of what On has been known to do recently. And so for form, I just really love how they built this out, and that they didn't go everything with how the masses think they need to go for whatever reason, and they just built a shoe that was true to them as a brand. And so I'm gonna go 5.
I am gonna go 4.
Okay.
But I have to give On some credit.
Still
right?
Very high mark.
Yeah.
Like, we'd consider that in the
I would do 4.5 if I could, but I don't think I'm allowed to.
Yeah.
So take that what you will. But I
maybe.
think what I'm impressed with is On has become incredibly popular. Like, beyond just ultra running, beyond high performance. But I'm really excited that they haven't like rested on those laurels, and they they're like really committed to still making really great products, really delivering, taking athlete feedback, and producing a shoe that isn't just looks good. I do think the shoe actually does look good, which is part of it. But for me, I'm going 4, which I think is great. I struggle giving shoes a 5. There's like
I do too.
Yeah. So
I thought really long and hard. I like typed a 5, erased it.
Yeah.
Typed a 4, erased it.
I'm
just going with
go for it.
And okay, so how about fit?
Fit for me, again, I think mine was just so influenced by it being just a little too big of a shoe for me. So like 3 is where I would put it, but I think 4 is probably how I would feel if it were the correct size.
Okay.
I think that it's just this is just like a little weird for the way my foot is shaped. That doesn't mean it's not great for the masses. Like the shoe that I love, like it has to just be tight here and provide a little extra room here. And this just felt maybe a little more narrow. And I guess it just comes down to like also feeling like I was rolling over to the side.
So it was a good fit, but not a perfect
it was
one.
Great. It was nothing that I'm gonna like write home about.
Yeah, and I was gonna put a 4, and I think because Michael also I think had 3.
Yeah.
And so
he and I had a very similar opinion of this.
And
show.
you guys have a more similar foot shape.
Yeah.
And so mine's a little broader, has a little more volume, and I think if you have I think it's an accommodating fit.
Yeah.
It can accommodate wider fits. I think you can cinch it down if you don't have a super wide.
Yeah.
And still get a good fit, obviously.
And I never had like a hot spot or anything like that to
nothing.
like make sure it still fits. So like they did a great job.
And I was actually really surprised at how the fit complemented the ride on a lot of different terrain, not just on the smooth stuff or anything in particular, but a variety of terrain, not a train.
Could be both. You never know.
Okay.
The on train.
The on train. I'm on the train.
Yeah.
I'm on the on train. And then function. I think we're a little more in sync on this one. I'm going to go 4.
Yeah, 4.
Okay, and 4 for the reason of like this is a race day shoe.
Yep.
I thought it was uber efficient, which is what you want more than anything on a trail race day shoe. You want it to be super efficient and do the job really well. I wish I'm going to go back a little bit on what I'm saying and just like it seems a little contradictory that I'm saying this.
Okay, I'm here for it.
I wish it was a little more exciting too.
Okay. I think, this is what I was going to say earlier. It's like a slight rocker for people that don't like rockers. It gives you just enough, but it's not like as aggressive as like the Arc'teryx Ceylon. But it's like minimal. But again, I think that's good for some areas because it helps with stability.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, you run in a bunch of shoes, you kind of want like something that's a little snappy.
And true. And then the other part of that is like, I think this is a very versatile shoe, which we've already said, but I don't think it's as versatile as some of the options, even race day options that are out there.
Yeah.
In terms of like reaching into that more technical terrain at like ultimate comfort and being able to roll with it. So, I mean, I think it's it's just a wonderful shoe overall.
Yeah.
And I think they're gonna take up some marketplace by this shoe.
Yeah.
And I hope that it continues to be an innovative shoe, but I think a lot of people are gonna be happy. I would take this over the Tecton X.
Yeah, 100%.
Some of the best,
I think the only thing for me is I would take it over the Tecton and like a few other race day shoes, but just knowing that it does kind of like get in my head of like the stability, like would I want to spend $260 on it? Like that's a tough sell. I mean, shoes are just expensive.
Yeah.
And I think race day shoes when
they are premium product.
Yeah, when they get that expensive, I do relegate them to kind of a race day only. Like I'm not.
It better be.
Yeah, I'm like this is expensive. I can't be going through this every month. So I think if you have the means, by all means, I think it is like a phenomenal shoe, and especially like this is their first one, and we're all excited about it. We are all like, this is yes, we love it.
Would you think this could be a one shoe quiver if you're really into that premium feel? I don't think it's not too aggressive that it wouldn't.
You could use this.
Some people would really make this a worthwhile shoe to get like 300-400 miles out of it, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, it does not show as many signs of wear and tear. I guess that's the other part I should mention. It might be $260, but there are shoes that are $200 that I know that I can't wear beyond 200 miles. I don't think this will die at 200. I think it will be still going at 3 or more, which, right, that's worth it.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on your running style, but I think that you could wear this everywhere. Like, this would be my shoe of choice, and I actually probably will buy it in the 7.5 just to try it out.
It's just one of those.
Yeah.
One of those shoes. Really impressive overall. So, I mean, if we went, it's up there with, in terms of overall pigeon score. Like, that's one of the highest of the year. It's definitely going to be in contention for shoe of the year.
100%.
So, take that for what it is.
We're psyched on it. I want to run more in it. I'm going to buy it. I don't buy a lot of shoes.
Yeah. I don't buy any, but this one is
sweltering.
Yeah. Let's be done with this. Shoe high five.
Shoe high five. We can't go long.